But now, yeah, make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. It's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Hello, welcome to the stream. Hello. So, let's give you guys an update a little bit. We've been talking about this situation with a particular order, and I gave you guys an update that this was sort of fixed. However, it's not. However, it continues, apparently. And what has happened now is they, like I said, got back to me and told me that it was this clock that I never even ordered. They were just, like, I guess giving me or something like that. It was like a free thing, and I didn't even want it. Well, I mean, I guess it's cool, but, like, you know, I didn't order it. So the whole point is they set this aside and didn't send my order because of this free thing, and I didn't even... So, they said they would ship it, and I swear to God, they emailed me at like 6:40 something a.m. and said they would, and I replied within 2 or 3 minutes and said, okay, do that. I didn't even order a clock. That's ridiculous. Do that. That was yesterday. Okay. And, well, actually, it was this, I think it was this morning, actually, I got the email. Maybe I should say it. Just say it like that. Hold on. Yeah, so actually, this was yesterday. My fault. It wasn't even today. I was giving them the benefit of the doubt. It was yesterday. And so the point is that they haven't even answered. They haven't even answered. They literally haven't even answered at all. Exactly like the Better Business Bureau report said from other people, where that's exactly what people were saying. They just weren't getting back to them at all. This is terrible. And remember, they answered several times before. They could have already done, like, shipped. Like, this is ridiculous. Something's going on with this. And this was yesterday. All they had to have done at this point is the duh. And so, alright. Here, I'm gonna, cause I'm gonna tell you, hi, I'm really sorry for the frustration this delay has caused. I've checked your order and it hasn't shipped yet because we're still waiting on the stock of this ridiculous clock that I didn't even order. The rest of your items are ready to go. If you'd prefer, we can cancel the clock from your order so the remaining items can ship immediately. Please confirm you'd like me to do this. You can't look at the order and see that the clock didn't... It was for a free gift? Why are you holding my order? What? Please send me the order. I said... I didn't even ask for a clock. The clock was automatically added to the order. That's so ridiculous. Yes, send my order. If you want to send me a clock later, fine, but that was automatically added anyway. Like, they want to send the fans clocks. Do it later. Don't hold the whole order. Then this was 3 minutes after they sent that email, I responded. 3 minutes after. Then, 2 hours ago, I sent them another email. Has my order shipped yet? I have not received any email back, so I just, prior to getting on the stream, sent another email. You were supposed to cancel the clock from the order and ship it. Did you do this? You have a serious problem with not getting back to people, and I'm already not happy that this happened in the first place. Nothing. Again, just absolutely no reply whatsoever. And when they do reply, it's sort of kind of like that, where it doesn't seem like they understand what they're doing. Because, I mean, like, this is kind of a boneheaded, airheaded sort of response, I feel like. Of course I don't... Of course that's... Of course! Anyway. I really wanted to make sure I got that out quickly so that anybody that's, like, I just wanted you guys to be able to know about that situation, and stuff like that, right when you're watching the stream and stuff. I just, I wanted to get that out quickly and make sure that you guys, heard that, because, it's pretty messed up that, I went and said yesterday that they went and fixed this, and then now it's almost like they're taking advantage of that. So, it's not fixed. And my order status, I already checked it. It literally says the same thing it did say. It doesn't say anything else. It has not shipped. They have not shipped it. It's not any different. And remember, they don't provide tracking. So once they do, I haven't the slightest effing clue where this thing is, how to... You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the strangest thing to do that. And not only that, to be perfectly honest with you, I've had a business. I know how this stuff works. Okay? Giving somebody tracking information is pretty easy to do. What's up, guys? What's up? I see your messages. Hi, Jason. Hello. I see 365 in the stream. Your hair is Your hair is looking awesome today. Thank you. Final Fantasy hair. Final Fantasy hair. Yeah, is it? Is that what it is? Cool. I'm fine with that. I think they stole my hairstyle. I've been doing this since I cut my hair short in high school, man. Except I was the smart one that didn't cut it too short. You cut it short, you can't spike it up, just looks stupid. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It looks fine. It doesn't fucking matter. It's just a joke. Yeah. So, that's the situation. That's the sitch. So, we have some stuff to get to here, but you guys know how I like to talk about. You guys know how I like to talk about media and stuff like that. All right, so we have a little bit of a suggestion for you today, okay? And I'll be honest with you. I think you're gonna really like this. I did. Let me pull it up, and then I will send away here. Actually, I don't know why I'm doing it on this. I need to do it there. Whatever. I'll just do it like this. So I hope I'm saying this right. I just found out about a band that I want to tell you guys about them, okay? I hope I'm saying this right, okay? Because I just found out about a band, and they're really good, and holy crap, good guitars, outstanding drummer, and I mean, I love the image. I love the especially the video, the dude on guitar. He's just wearing these hilarious freaking sunglasses the whole time, and you can tell who he's modeling the the look after. It's pretty great. I'll let you decide who it's supposed to look like, but no, like he's clearly probably just a fan or something. But so I have a couple of suggestions for you. No, I mean, I don't know if he is, so that's why I don't want to, you know what I mean? I'll let you decide if it looks like that or not. So let me give you these, let me get ready to give you the link here, and then, so I hope I'm saying this right, okay? I hope. The band is called Thraxis? Thraxis? Except you have to say it, Thraxis! It's got an exclamation point after it. Thraxis exclamation point. I have a couple of suggestions for you, though. Let me actually send you the ones that I'm going to suggest. So, this one first. This one's called Blast Shadows. This one's called Blast Shadows. So let me send this one to you. Then this other one is called Concrete Cowboy. One one's good too. Concrete Cowboy. So I recommend those songs. They again, they are a good band. I was blown away. They are really good. I think maybe not as known, but that newer song Blast Shadows, that has a lot more views than, you know, like some of their other stuff. Well, it has like a full video, and it's great. So I highly recommend. Really, 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 really good stuff. So I wanted to recommend that band to you. Hold on. That's how it's spelled, right like that. So. Alright. And obviously you can get it from the links in the chat too, but I really like them. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys. I think they're a really good band, and somebody needs to give them a chance. You get what I'm saying? I think they need to open for somebody. You get what I'm saying? I think they're a good opener. Is what I'm saying. For you get what I'm saying? I think they would work quite well. All right. So anyway, for a mainstream band, I mean, an opener for, because they're really good. They deserve a main show of their own. I'm just saying an opener for like a big, really big act. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, let's get into other stuff. I just wanted to throw that suggestion out there. So, hold on a sec here. As you guys know, we've been talking about how YouTube, and again, this is Donald, but it's YouTube too. We've been talking about how YouTube has been removing just shitloads of views for blatantly no reason. Now, if you guys recall, we talked about how when I played Elden Ring last, we talked about how eventually they were going to remove the views from that. We got a lot of views on that, remember? And then after that stream, I talked about, it wasn't during, it was after, I talked about how, don't worry, they're going to remove the views eventually. Now, I said it on that stream that they would probably do it by the time I had finished that stream, but basically that stream was at around 600 views or so, and it was gaining regular viewership, the last Elden Ring stream I did. And so they just randomly, just as of today, because I had just noticed yesterday that it was still up there, it's at like around 170, just randomly, and it was at like about 600. So again, this is the perfect example of a stream that's been there plenty long enough. It's not processing or anything like that. And they just sat there and wiped a shitload of views from the stream. And this is, I think, what they're doing across the board. I think they're doing it to, like, everybody. And I think it's, I think what they're doing is they're doing it on purpose, but they're letting the AI systems do it so that way, later on, when they're caught, they're going to be like, oops! Well, we didn't know it was our AI. I think it's on purpose. And I think they're stealing money. And again, I was pointing out the fact that people were being pushed off the platform, content was being pushed to get shorter and stuff like that, and yet every year, YouTube continues to make more and more money off of advertising revenue. Now, every year that number goes up. That's been the trend. Yet, content gets basically worse, is kind of what we're all recognizing. And it's not because it's worse, it's because you can't make good content. If you can't make good content, YouTube sits here and uses every means to pretend like people don't want to see that. You know, trolling, bullying, that sort of thing. So again, this is something we've been talking about for a while, but you guys should be able to see it pretty firsthand when you see a stream that got to around 600 views. Now, we've talked about thousands of views before. So the whole point is it may have even been that, you know, but they were already causing problems for it at the time. So the point is that they sort of just type a number for subscriber count, that if it gets to this number, basically a bunch of people are unsubscribed from the person and stuff like that. And same thing with views. If it gets past a certain number, it just starts removing a bunch of views. This is kind of what I've started to notice, where they just have like certain points at which they don't want you to get past, like thresholds. Some people have told me this, and I've confirmed it, where people are being unsubscribed from my channel, and I can confirm that. It's not like it's something somebody just sort of says and there's not. No, I mean, especially if the person's in your chat typing it, I mean, obviously you can see their name, so you can confirm these things, and like, I am, like, they're right. A lot of times it's somebody that like kind of was subscribed and not, and they're trying to subscribe again or something like that. Now, I'm not talking about a troll. I know there's trolls. I know that this is very like a certain streamer, if you remember a while back, who kept subbing, unsubbing, and stuff like that, the day that he was declaring war on me and shit like that, all simultaneously. So I'm aware of that too, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like kind of like a normal sort of thing, where it's more of a general thing and not that. Because yeah, there's that troll doing that too. They are doing it, but there's ways to test that. There is, and if I tell you, like, the point is, I've done these things before, and it causes headaches to tell you how to test it. So I can tell you how to, like, I'll be like, oh well, this, and you'll be like, oh yeah, that is kind of a definitive test, but then it goes away because the troll makes it go away. So I can't. You know what I mean? I can't. They have scammed this shit. Stop it with the ridiculous confetti already. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're hitting the confetti button. Nobody cares. You know what's even funnier about that though? The fact that he tried to steal. Like the funny, like, this is what a lot of those guys don't get, is like MDL, like, his problems were exactly that he had problems and he was immature. I showed him that. So he just sort of kind of fixed some of the stuff that I was trying to say, and was mature about it, and just walked forward a different direction. That's it. And so all these guys are just like all ticked off now that you know, they tried to steal what he was immaturely doing for a while, but then just kind of like, I guess, looking at it a different way, probably realizes, yeah, I kind of sort of look like. I think this is what did it, was when the day I told him, look, what he doesn't realize is if he really likes, like I don't like Trump, you guys know that, but he does. So if he really likes Trump and he really wants to get noticed by him, and he's trying to do that, nothing he's doing is going to do that. Trump's not going to know. Trust me. Like he's going to go to the people that seem most professional and stuff, and like he is not going to go to the guy that's like, you know, raging out on stream all the time and you know, crashing out about this and that. And he like, the whole point was that it caused him to look at himself from that guy's perspective, and I think is the idea. So suddenly it was somebody that he cared about versus doing it from other people's perspective that he didn't give a crap about. Suddenly it changes the putting yourself in somebody else's position, you know, shoes. So anyway, what you have to realize is a lot of these guys, they're not doing that. They're just gonna endlessly attack people and crash out and not have anything, not, you know, intelligent to add to the equation. So he's a character. Like, MTL is a character. And Asmongold, the whole point is that's why he is good at what he does, and that's why, you know, like, again, he just, the first and only thing he says about him is exactly right. It's genius. Because that's it. You know, he's a character. That's it. And milk that for all it's worth. He is a meme. Yes. His face. Yes. That's what he was like, is that his face? And it was so funny. It really was. But like, that's exactly right. Like, exactly. And anytime anybody's watching him, that's all they're gonna see until he becomes a bit more serious. You know, he you know, like, he just acts more of a normal person, and then he also doesn't have this face in addition to being ridiculous. Because look, if you're Daniel Tosh acting ridiculous, I mean, you're a really good-looking dude and funny dude doing it. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it, but it's very vestigial. Okay. So the reception is there. It's sold a little bit better, a little bit more easily, if that makes sense, in a more charismatic package, and there's nothing wrong with that. The thing that would be wrong with it is the whole point that the people are doing what they're doing to him, you know, and not just seeing that it's a joke and stuff like that. So, you know, that's kind of the point, is I think just that, you know, somebody that does that ultimately actually does want to take themselves kind of a bit more seriously, and everybody else isn't. And I sort of kind of came on doing the opposite, where I kind of came on here taking myself you know, a bit more seriously, just trying to do the whole, like, proper method of this and that. And at a certain point just felt like it was kind of dishonest, just because of the way things, the state of how bad things are. I just felt that at a certain point it would be dishonest for me to be doing what I was doing, you know, talking about all this stuff and trying to give you guys a critical take and stuff, but then, you know, being too prepared and too. You get what I'm saying? Where it's just a little bit more dishonest about it. Does that make sense? Anyway, anyway. I'm not gonna give him any more airtime. But, you know, if you're looking at somebody like that for advice, don't. He doesn't have any advice. He's got enough of his own problems. And you know, stealing the audience, you're not gonna get an audience that you necessarily want. It's not your audience. It's just not how you do things. This has happened to me before. Are you talking about the subscribing thing? I just saw your message. Sometimes when I go to make a coffee and come back, my like would be gone. Yeah, so there's a very real possibility that, you know, YouTube security is like if you like the stream and then like literally right after you like it, your like is gone, like you're telling me that you physically have to like it again, you need to change your password for your YouTube account. Go do it now. And don't forget it, but you know, and then do your 2-factor authentication stuff. But you need to change your password. I'm just letting you know. There's some things that it means, but one thing you need to do right away is change your password if that's happening. But yeah, you're right. I mean, like, that's not something that I'm oblivious to, and I've seen that other people saying that too. You know, don't freak out and scramble and like, you know, like it's not, you know, I'm not trying to freak you out or anything. I just, again, if you're seeing that and it's pretty regular, again, like you can like the stream and guarantee it's coming off, like it's actually being removed. Try even refreshing the page and see if it's just a glitch maybe or something like that. They're causing a glitch. If you refresh the page and genuinely the like is being removed, change your password. Just saying. But I appreciate the feedback because it helps to know that that's happening and stuff. You know, that's a good takeaway, good addition to the stream too, to put it in chat. We know what's happening to you as well, and you know, YouTube can see it, and we all can see it. So you know, I appreciate that for sure. I'm just trying to give you a little feedback for your end of things in case you wouldn't have done that already. Maybe you did. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. Trust me, you didn't. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying, if that happens, change your password pretty much right away. That's it. I'm not gonna say anything else other than that. It definitely means some things, but I'm not gonna give that to the scammers. I'm not here to do that. So anyway, Apparently today, Donald Trump is supposed to have high stakes negotiations to end the war with Iran, claiming good talks are ongoing. I don't know how much I believe that nonsense. I don't believe it for a second. I really don't. I just think he's full of shit. We've talked about this before, but what you have to realize about starting a war in the Middle East is that you don't just pull out of the war and go, well, it's over. Everybody's gonna forget about it. Nobody's bitter about the fact that we just unalived a bunch of people and bombed some shit. And they gotta pay to rebuild, and everybody's really pissed off in their country. You know, and other people are attacking them now because we did this. And Iran, is now putting pressure on, you know, Western Asian countries and stuff like that, making threats there. So I think it's very interesting that we have plenty of times in history, especially in modern history, Afghanistan and Iraq, where we have plenty of examples of this not happening, of us not being able to just pull right out of the war. Like, you know, again, remember when he said he would end the Russian-Ukraine war in a day and all that? Again, I think it's very interesting that Americans, some, truthfully actually believe that. I just think that's very interesting. Remember his Ukraine negotiations? Nothing happened. Yeah, it's funny. That's funny. I didn't even read that until now. Yeah, so we were thinking along the same lines. Yes, exactly. You can't start this is the point. If you start a war, you started a war. Can I ask you guys a question? Americans, from one American to another, or anybody else in any other country for that matter, okay? You're on your home soil. Doesn't matter who it is. I don't care who it is. Remove bias from it, okay? And another country, for any reason, randomly just missile strikes you and is just repetitively doing this. And they're invading and they're... okay? Can I ask you a question? Would you want something to happen to that country in retaliation? Or would you just be like, let them go. You know, they struck us with some missiles, blew some shit up, but hey, you know, who cares? We can always rebuild. I feel like this is kind of obvious that you would feel the same way. You would want to go to war with that fucking country. I mean, even content creators on this platform that are ticked at other content creators try to sit here and go to war with content creators over stupid shit. And you think that another country is going to just let it go. Like, this is what you have to realize. They try to pull out of the country, and then the Iranian troops just, you know, like you have no idea, do you? You just really have no clue. That's the point. Iranian. Iranian troops. I can't. I just that word Iran. It's tough. That's a tough one for Americans. Too many vowels. Half the words are vowel. Half the word is a vowel. It's 4 letters and two of them are vowels. You can't expect people not to want to retaliate and want blood for blood. It's the truth. That's it. That's how people always feel. They're always gonna feel that way. Americans, you can get as peace loving and as much as you want, unless you're Jesus Christ. People are they're imperfect. They're gonna want to know that the enemy fears you and won't do this again. Otherwise, they're going to feel that anxiety of, or they're going to attack us again. They're going to want to know that you know, you drove them away successfully and stuff like that. And this also then causes problems for the U.S. as far as foreign pressure with other nations then too, where they're not going to report this responsibly with their media. They're going to make it look really bad. They're going to make it look like the U.S. retreated, Iran won, and stuff like that. And it will cause problems for it'll make us look weak. People will try to attack us even more than they already are. I mean, they won't succeed necessarily. In fact, there's plenty of times that it's like a joke. But they're, that's the point. They're going to. And we have a very dangerous road ahead where a lot of countries want to separate themselves from relations with the U.S. because of what we just did. It's that simple. We're not... our ships in the water are not... you see a U.S. flag on a ship out in the sea, you fucking go the other way now, right? Like, that's the point. The point is, we were always the good guys. They see a U.S. flag on the ships out at sea. Oh, thank God! It's the United States. Thank God. Maybe they're here. Maybe they're gonna save us. Maybe they're just gonna here to rescue us and shit. Boom! 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 And then they just blow them up. So what happened to the Venezuelan boats? We were talking about fishing boats, guys. Fishing boats. That's what they were. These were not drug dealers. These were, again, there was 2 guys on board that were believed to have been dealing drugs before. It was just a ship. It was just a boat for fishing. There was nothing having to do with drugs. And just like, boom, we'll just they blew it up. Come on, man. And so, this is the point is it really does ruin that negotiation, those good guy, that good guy status for the U.S. Abroad. It does. We really do become Team America World Police when we start this is the very essence. Donald Trump is the very essence of America! Fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America! Fuck yeah! Freedom is the only way, yeah! Except the problem is, It ain't freedom, he's just forcing it. Terrorist, your game is through. Now you have to answer to America. They're gonna bomb you for no fucking reason. Fuck yeah! It's the dream we all share. Oh god, no, it's not. It's not! It's terrible! What you gonna do when we come for you, yeah? Oh boy. So, I know I've said this a million times before, and, you know, other people say it, so I don't need to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway, because, you know, people are oblivious. Oh, and the concurrents in here are capped at 5. They're not allowing any more than 5. Yeah. So, you know, that whole stream we did last night, where we were streaming for, you know, that long amount of time, that was when I noticed, if you remember, the view bots showed up at the end of the stream. If you remember that. We had like 0 concurrence the whole stream. They were trying to pretend we had 0 the whole stream. And then literally right at the end of the stream, nothing but view bots all of a sudden. And again, the whole point is, well, that was them hacking through the stream. Like literally because I did that stream, and then I saw all those views come off from the Elden Ring stream. Yeah. And then we see the confetti from the person hitting the confetti button instantaneously as I say this. So, anyway, I know I don't need to say this, but, you know, tariffs cost us money. You pay for that. It's that simple. There's nothing else that you can say about it. Tariffs cost us money. It's not a way to negotiate. A tariff is a way to force higher prices. That's all it is. Let me ask you something. If you own a business and you're buying a bunch of, let's say you run a car parts shop, okay? And you sell a bunch of car batteries. And these car batteries that are now coming in, they're starting to cost you a lot closer to what you're selling them for already. That's the danger zone, because now you're going to have to really, really raise that price like almost like 200-300%, like double and triple what you had it as to justify having that product anymore. Are you going to do that? Or are you going to go to the battery that isn't that expensive and you're going to change the product? Which do you think you're going to do? And is there another battery that you can change to? Do you have the option? Or do you have to up the price? Because if you didn't, you'd go out of business. Because there's no profit. You didn't plan for this. Somebody just... That's what a tariff is. It's there is already a deal in place, a percentage or something that goods cost to import and export, period. A tariff is when our country, Donald Trump, tells the other country, okay, just so that you know, we want your we want your product. We want your product, and you want ours, okay? But this product now has a tariff. So if you want to give it to us, we are forcing. Oh right, our importer. That's right. Oh right, our importer to sit here and pay, because this is all a tariff is doing. To import it, he is increasing the percentage it costs, because when he does this, all the person that's exporting it from their country is going to do is up the price, because they can't possibly afford to just randomly offset their business by this absurd amount that you're forcing on them. So they're just going to be like, okay, then we'll up the price on that. We'll up the cost on that you're paying for it by the exact amount that you're charging. That's all they're going to do. Hence, a trade war. Hence why it happens. They just start matching it. Okay, you do that, we're just going to up the amount that you pay for it. And Donald doesn't see that. I mean, he knows it, but he doesn't see any of that because Donald doesn't actually run businesses. Other people run businesses for Donald. Kind of like Donald has been getting discounts on fucking Chinese steels for decades, and you're all oblivious to this. He claims to hate China so much. The dude's been ordering Chinese steel for decades. And getting deals on it, by the way. Yeah, by the way, his ties are made in China, too. By the way. So is everything else. So what? We already talked about how that's like half the world's population in India and China. Well, India is half the world's population. There's another half in China. Yeah, I'm dead serious. That's about right. There's like 6-8% of the rest of the world is elsewhere. I swear, it's like basically. We've talked about this before. And so you're like, yeah, production, industry, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that they would have like mass production and stuff like that. Yeah, manufacturing. Yeah, it makes sense actually. It actually does. India, China. India does too. They have a lot of manufacturing too. A lot of stuff. You know, India manufactures Motorola products. Did you know that? Yep. Yeah, Motorola's India. Just throwing it out there. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah. I'll bet you like 2 or 3 Americans that are Trump voters watching this heard that and went, mother, and then took their phone and like smashed it or threw it away or something like that. I swear. I'll bet you. That's how some crazy Americans are. They really are just like this. It's so strange. Anyway, I found out about, let's talk about a little bit of a lighter subject. I found out about an awesome streamer I didn't know about named Vlad Vlad something or other. He literally like dresses up as a woman and walks around cities, and gets guys to like hit on him and stuff to show how bad it is for women in the cities, and oh my god, it's so bad. And trust me, he's convincing. It's great. It is great. That's actually like, I thought that was some awesome content. And the dude goes around like Los Angeles, Vegas, New York. He goes to all these different cities, and men are, I've seen this a lot in my life, but this is kind of the thing I talk about a lot. You know, where I talk about how like people are entirely too focused on like, you know, like sexual things and even like relationships. Like people enter relationships often because they had sex with the person, you know, and got pregnant. You know, like literally like they go to the bar and do stupid shit with people, you know, and stuff like that. It's like drunk people making poor decisions and stuff. So, my point, and I think his point is just, you know, when are we going to do something about the fact that men are raised this way? Like women, you know, they can just like this, like that was my whole point with Harris and stuff like that. Like men shouldn't be in charge of things anymore, and are devolving before our very eyes, and all they do is think sexual. Like literally they just see an attractive woman walk by, they can't do anything. It's like a competition thing where like they have to, and it's very possessive and strange. It's like, that's a person. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand what the hell's wrong with people. So it's content like that, and I appreciate that because well, you know, who's gonna do that, you know? It's great. I love it. So you should check that out. You should definitely check that. Hello. You should definitely check that out if you've not checked out his channel. Please do. I think the channel I found is like uploads though. I think he has a main channel. So just look him up. I'm sure you'll find him. Just look like Vlad dresses up as woman in city or something like that. Type that, you'll find it. You'll type that. Type that and you'll find it. Like again, he goes around to all these different cities, and it's bad. Like this dude's assaulting him. This one dude was like following him around, touching his ass for like the whole time that he was following him around. Like, what the heck? You're just gonna sit there and like just really the whole time you're following the guy around, and like this is what you have to recognize is like guys actually do that stuff, and I remember the worst of them, the guy was just staring and wouldn't say much of anything except really creepy, weird things, and that was the worst of them. And then again, the guy that didn't even seem that bad, he was pretty bad, because the whole point was this person that's you know, apparently a woman, right? Like seemingly a woman, right? Is walking like down like a boardwalk, right? And like she's just walking. You know what I mean? Minding her own business. And this guy that's like already basically past her. He barely catches her out of the and he's like staring, and he has to talk to him slash, you know, like it's actually him, obviously. But like, what? So wait a minute, you need to stop it. It's a stranger. You didn't. It's not like you're working with the person and getting to know them, or at a party getting to know them. You're not at like a friend's house. You're not at a meeting where you were already there. No. You're just riding on your fucking scooter down the boardwalk, and this woman's walking by herself. And you barely catch her, and you're breaking your neck to look at her, and you get off you literally get off your scooter to go out of your way to have a conversation with her. Again, like there was no prior thing where you would have, you know, you went out of your way and then get rejected and then continue. What is this weird thing with the bitrate that I'm seeing where it's 11,000, 15,000, 11,000, 15,000? What is that trash tube? What are we doing there? Are we clipping the stream? Is that what we're doing? Yeah. People are sitting here clipping the stream. We got rapists clipping the stream here. Yeah, because again, remember, it's the same person. Remember, it's the same person that puts their likes on the stream just to take them off. It's the same person hitting the laugh emoji over and over and over and over every stream. It's the same person that has been causing this bitrate shift and has been hacking my router, trying to steal my content, repost it on YouTube. It's not any different. It's just the same weird person. Interesting, isn't it? So anyway, that's the interesting thing. The fact that YouTube can't get their shit right. That every time somebody clips the stream, the bitrate's just gonna do that. So I'm always gonna know, because it's always gonna cause a problem for me. Anyway, stop sitting here trying to pretend like you're not clipping the stream. So, you know, go check that out. Vladimir, I think, Vlad, hold on. I don't think it's his main channel that I found. I really don't. Like I said, I just discovered him. His channel, the channel that I found is called Vlad NCL. Vlad NCL. That's what it's called. VLAD space NCL. That's the one that I found. He's got 2 million subscribers. So, yeah, just check him out. I mean, I think he's cool. I mean, it's just, hold on. Maybe I can just put it up on the screen here. There you go. That channel. There you go. So, as you can see, that's him. He is a guy. He's just really good at doing that. So obviously he fools people. So yeah, there's his channel. There's an arrow pointing to himself, man. So as you can see, yeah, I watched that one. As you can see, oh yeah, that's something also that I wanted to call out too. When this scammer sat here and removed all those views, when that happened, I noticed that, like, I had clicked on the stream for a period of time to look at something, and, you know, it was playing for a little bit, and, I noticed that, you know how, like, if you look at a stream, like, just like you saw there, you'll see a progress of what it used to, where you left off? After the views came off, it very clearly removed all evidence that I had ever watched it either, too. And so it's almost as if they're trying to remove views, mass quantity from legitimate viewers, and into tricking YouTube's system to think that a ton of people are watching it over and over and over for the purposes of giving it more views than it should have. So that way YouTube, you know, like, comes down on certain accounts and stuff like that. Sort of like you're telling me where somebody removed your like or something like that. Because, you know, there's no reason at all why, you know, I should ever see the you know, like, the evidence of me having watched the stream just gone. You know what I mean? Like, that should show up there. That doesn't make any sense. So that was something I just thought of, that was also, you know, in addition to the views just being gone. So that's interesting too. All right. Anyway, that was just a little light. We'll shift gears a little bit. So I figured I would mention that. But let's go back to the serious matter at hand, okay? Because, let's be honest, Donald Trump is sitting here pretending like he cares about crime. And meanwhile, if he actually gave a shit, stopping crime would look a lot more like what this guy is doing, this Vlad guy. And not randomly having ICE, who aren't law enforcement, who have zero authority to enforce law, ransacking cities. And I think it's absolutely incredible that Trump is sitting here bragging and he just bragged about how, like, ICE is his thing. He's taking credit for that. He loves it. You know, he just loves taking credit for ICE. Yeah. Isn't that a bit gross? I think it is, because these people have unalived several U.S. citizens. for no reason. They weren't citizens committing crimes at all. And they unalived all these U.S. citizens. Nope. Nope. Nobody wants to hear you take credit for... No. Alright, let's update this. Alright, so this is BBC here. Let me just see. According to BBC News, Trump says negotiations to end war are happening right now. And Iran, is talking sense. According to BBC News. Which, again, they have very accurate reporting. I'm not disputing that he said that. I just, I don't know that I believe Donald, okay? That's right, he did do that, didn't he? Trump apparently threatened to, quote, obliterate Iranian power plants if the Strait of Hormuz was not reopened. So that's what we're kind of talking about here, where Trump made these ridiculous threats to obliterate power plants and stuff like that. He does do these things. If the Strait of Hormuz was not reopened. So That's I think kind of what we're talking about here, where this dumb fuck just is a dumb fuck. President of the United States is an idiot. While pushing for legislation to restrict mail-in voting and calling it cheating, it was reported that apparently Trump used a mail-in ballot himself for a Florida special election. Wow. Wow. After all that shit about, restricting mail-in voting, this douchebag uses a mail-in ballot himself in a Florida special election. Yep, and somebody's hitting the confetti button and all the view bots just left and you see how many people are actually in the fucking stream. Yep. You see it? Yep. Conveniently. Right as I say that. Oh, wow. Oh, and now we've removed one of the likes that we had on there just to take them off. Yep, now we've removed one of the likes that we had on the stream just to remove it. Yep. Because that's why they have them on there, to remove them. They don't like the stream, they have them on there to remove them when I inevitably say something that Trump did wrong. Because again, there's nobody ever in history that's right about everything. Ever. And the person that's saying that, it's probably the opposite, because they don't have to say it when they're right about everything. Yep. You'll just know. Because they'll be right. Yeah. You won't have to justify it. You won't have to endlessly be in denial and talk about this and this and this and this and this and this and this. Yeah, but this. Yeah, but this. No. He'll just be right. Hey, look. It's right. It works. Kind of like when Obama was in office and everything just made sense and the guy talked in complete sentences. This guy can't do that. Because nothing he says has been correct, and he knows it. And he just digs a hole deeper. That's why he can't ever talk in complete sentences. It's literally all of it's a distraction. Every last word ever uttered. Every last one. Oh, I didn't say that. Yeah, the first time I never said that. That's fake news. I didn't say that. Then when Biden's president, endlessly just sitting here pointing the finger at Biden for all the shit he did. He did to screw up the country. Now he's pointing the finger and blaming it on Biden because Biden's president. Dealing with the shit Trump did. And signed into, again, the tax plan Trump signed in. Everybody was like, oh, it's Biden's tax. No, it's Trump. We have Trump's tax plan. That's literally, it's not Biden's, it's Trump's. Still his. Same one. Same shit one. And now he knows he can't get away with either of those things. Because you've called it out. You've started to recognize because you're slow as shit. So now he goes, I said that? I didn't say that. I don't remember saying that. Well, you know, and then by the time he's done that, you know, that's his little distraction. And, you know, he thinks it works, but he's an idiot, so. So, like, that's why it's all falling apart. Like, there's no distraction anymore. He's just stupid. Digging a deeper hole. So, he's been spending a lot more time trying to speak only when he definitively knows what he's going to do, I think. But the point is that Donald doesn't know what to do, ever. He's a moron. So when you ask him a question about what the president should do, that's why the first response you get is always fucking stupid and wrong. And then later he goes, I didn't say that, that's fake news. I mean, literally, it's the most obvious dumb shit you can possibly imagine. The guy is literally shit for the job, and then later somebody smarter goes, so you should have said this. And then he goes, oh, why didn't you tell me that? And he just blames them or something like, it's their fault. No, you're the president, dumbass. We elected you, dumbass. Do the job, dumbass. Oh, what's that? You can't debate Hillary Clinton because you're not smart enough? You're just going to talk over her every time she tries to talk? You can't debate Hillary Clinton because she's infinitely smarter than you? Oh, that's right. So you're just going to talk over her every single time she tries to talk because she's infinitely more intelligent than you are. And she won every single debate because, again, he never even answered a single fucking debate question. Maybe once, but again, didn't give it a factual, valid answer for it either. And again, talked over Hillary Clinton. Took more time, didn't allow her to answer. Oh, yeah, sounds like all the guys that were walking around those cities that this Vlad guy was walking around. Yeah, it sounds exactly like those assholes. It's exactly the same fucking thing. Yeah. Same guy that has a recording talking about, you know, how he treats women. He just reaches out and that's what he does. Remember, that's what the recording said. Those are his words. About where he grabs women. Yeah. Remember that? See, this is the point. Everybody just forgets everything he said. There's always a new distraction. You always forget when there's a new distraction. Yep, that's real audio. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you can tell a joke. You can be lewd in a comedy or a movie or something when it's prepared, it's scripted, it's a joke. It's not you saying it, it's a character. We're talking about an audio clip of Donald Trump saying this to, like, just somebody else. Just another person. We're not talking about anything like that. And as soon as I started on this subject, this particular one, the douchebag that has his likes on the stream just to remove them, started removing them. As soon as I started down that line of subject matter. Pretty interesting, isn't it? It's kind of like when people are so dumb that they think that, like, a picture of somebody doing this is intimidating and instills fear in anybody. This is what his voters think. His voters actually think this. They think that they can... They really do. They're really this dumb. No! Every other country is far more fucking educated than you're stupid! Everybody else sees you for what you're doing, idiots! What are you, insane? I've already explained to you that the English language, on a basic level, Americans are dumb and not academic because our language is basic. It's broken English. It's not even proper English. It's broken. Half the people here don't understand phonetics at all. Like, literally whatever. And this is the whole point is... You know, we make contractions and shit. I talk in contractions. Christ, man. Language is academics. If your language is hard to learn and difficult to learn, there you go. And not only that, it also probably means that you have more words for things. Yeah. Where I can't even... Alright, so let me explain this to you in a way that makes sense, okay? We have a lot of bullshit words in the English language. Is, the, stuff like that. These words don't serve much of a purpose whatsoever. Yet we throw these in fucking sentences nonstop. For no reason at all. Do you know that when a foreigner, like specifically the Asian languages, learns English, this is why they sound basic to us? They don't have words like that in their language. They're completely extraneous. They don't mean anything. Why do we use them? This is why we're stupid. We literally do things that don't fucking make any sense at all. And then they have formal and informal speech. And we're just like, nah, we don't give a shit about that. We actually have technically formal speech, but we don't use it. And we're talking in contractions and shit, and we got all these prepositions all over the fucking place. There's just literally no reason. Like if I say is or the thing, it somehow changes anything about the is or the. It don't. This is why this did, and then they try to learn like what the what the? I have to have a word for it. What does this word the mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's an identifier for the noun, the noun. There, I even said it. It's so fucking stupid. The TV, not just TV. And that's different than a TV. Because the TV implies a specific TV. That one, the TV. It's so goddamn stupid. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why? So, anyway, the whole point is that I just like people don't get it. That's the point. I shouldn't have to say anything. That is the point, okay? All right? We're at the point. We've been past the point. This is the point, all right? This is the point. And here in America, there are entitled people that are, they feel a certain way about their own intelligence because they know they're stupid. So instead of trying to challenge that and be better with that, they just double down on it and get infinitely angry and emotional at anybody else that's smarter than them. That would tell them something and try to help them. So instead of them becoming smart because they've met all these people and can now change their opinion to be smart, they're not gonna. They're just gonna sit here and be like, oh, I know better. That's wrong. It's this way. They're going through the proper channels. They're going through the proper channels. They're coming here legally. Totally. No, I mean, like literally they are, but the point is, like, there's a process for it. And what they're doing now with ICE and shit like that, you got to get it through your head that that's not right. That's not the process. That's just a fact. Anybody knows it, okay? So you continuing to argue this makes you look stupid to anybody that's smarter that just simply knows this is the fact thereof. And they become very frustrated and visibly frustrated because it's just a fact. You're arguing a fact with somebody smarter that's owned up to this and accepted it, and plenty of other people have too. That's why it's so frustrating. Like, you're the goddamn child. You don't accept the literal fucking factual information that the people spent all this time researching just to be right about it, so that they know that they're right, so they can talk about it, and you giving the simple answer, the simple dumb fucking answer you didn't look up, that you just heard one time, and said, yep, totally. They're coming here illegally. I believe it. If they're going through the proper channels, durkity dur. So that's how it feels to a smarter person, because you literally just decided the information instead of learning and receiving the correct piece. And now you're not giving that to the person debating you. So they're not going to give it to you because you argued them on a very obviously factual piece of information that they are correct about, and they know they're correct about it. So they're just going to walk away and not want to argue with you or talk to you, because pretty much everything you're going to say is just literally not factual, because you're arguing a fact. So they don't even want to talk to you, because you clearly aren't even fucking arguing for factual information. You're just dumb. Arguing for something that isn't true. The ridiculous flat earth bullshit that told all these scammers in the foreign countries how dumb Americans are. That's what did it. The flat earth thing. That stuff. Stuff like that. Where people are posting things, and like all these people are commenting and just commenting the dumbest shit to be trolls. They don't really believe it. They're just trolling. But at the same time, they sure do act like they believe it. And then they start, like, you see it, actually, they sort of change their actions and sort of kind of act like this in general. And treat other things this way. Just like the election. When they want to troll the election, just, because. They don't care. So yeah, the young people committing the crimes and the terrorists and stuff like that. Yeah. Yep. They're the ones that, nothing that they say is something that, is an affirmative or a declarative that is true. It's just a way of manipulating, or like, again, something sarcastic, or like, it's just all that. Like when I've talked about real life trolls and stuff like that, people that can't separate a prank from real life. Like, you know what I mean? Like the people that would harm somebody and call it a prank. It's not a prank, it's just a crime. These people. You know what I mean? Like, they're just making content, calling it prank for the sake of harming somebody or destroying something. It's not a prank, it's just a crime. So, the same thing can be said about the idiots right now, and it goes both ways. Again, while I'm fully aware that Donald Trump is the reason this time that the gas prices are high, because Biden were finally drilling for oil here, so it would have come down. But Trump, to trick you into hating the Democrats, started importing oil again from Russia so that the prices would just go up. So that you just hate the Democrats. That's all. And literally, people are sitting here, I just saw online that people are still slapping the stickers on the gas pumps from Trump, you know, pointing "I did that" and stuff like that. You know, it doesn't make it right just because you're on the other side. You're still vandalizing a gas station. You can't. Don't vandalize a gas station just because you're pissed off at Trump. Okay? Like, and who the fuck is selling these dumb things? They're paying money. I actually saw these for sale at a gas station. What moron sells them at their own gas station? You know they're buying them and putting them on your fucking gas pump. What are you, stupid? Jeez. So, the point is, if you're selling them at the gas station, I'm calling BS. If I'm the cop that you know what I mean, that's responding to that, and you're selling them at the gas station, and then you're going to try to say that somebody is defacing your gas station, I'm going to sort of kind of be like, hey, you want to report this, stop selling these things. I mean, that'd be like a cigar shop complaining about people smoking outside the cigar shop. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna have, like, I just feel like that's what that's like. You know what I mean? Like, businesses can have no smoking signs on their property and stuff like that in certain states, but if it's a cigar shop and you're trying to, I just feel like that's like you know what I mean? There's just a little bit of a difference there. That's not really reasonable at all. You can't sell stickers and then claim people are defacing your gas station when you put the bait on the counter. They just paid however much money to fill up their gas tank. They're probably pissed already. And then most of these dumbasses are just coming in to buy lottery tickets and cigarettes. I swear to God. It's so many idiots. Everybody that votes for Trump, they're buying lottery tickets. They're a bunch of fools. I see it all the time. I think the higher prices are good for the environment in a way. The high prices keep people from going on unnecessary leisure. You don't have to tell me if you're from the States or not. Why are we trying to prevent people from going on unnecessary leisure drives? I'm confused by that. See, I don't necessarily agree. I don't care about somebody wants to have a leisure drive. What's wrong with that? I don't care about that. Don't impose on somebody's leisure just because other people ruin it. Yeah, I'll agree that there's a lot of people in this country that tailgate people, and swerve around, pressure people to drive faster, act like fools, don't keep right and pass left, for sure. Just basically everybody not following at a safe distance, sure. So I would agree that maybe this is what causes you to feel that way, where other people on the road are just complete douchebags. That I agree with. But that's police. That is willingness to deal with the sheer amount of traffic violations that are happening. That's all that is. So, a lot of that too is the fact that Trump didn't have an infrastructure bill, so that like it's just going to get worse if they don't have proper funding. It's going to put more pressure on the state to fund them. But you know, so yeah, like it's going to become lesser, you know, of the regular things that they're able to do for sure. But I don't agree that I don't understand what you mean by stopping people from unnecessary leisure drives. So who cares? What do you think? What do you think people are? It's not unnecessary leisure drives that are harming the environment or causing problems. That's not. It's the fact that Obama and people like that were pushing for clean renewable energy and stuff, and then people like Trump came in and were opposite. I mean, even Elon Musk, who is a Trump supporter for some reason, pushes for electric cars. So I you know, like obviously with Tesla and everything. So we have to start somewhere. You need a grid for that, for charging stations and stuff like that. But you know, that doesn't mean that people going on leisurely drives are the problem. Certainly not. How much leisurely driving do you think they're doing? No, the problem is that we haven't moved away from fossil fuels into renewable, so that then when people go to work and do all this absurd amounts of driving throughout the day, and all these cars are just sitting around on the roads, idling and stuff, it's not electric, it's just clouds of smoke going into the environment. Okay? Chemical leaks, cars are, you know, I mean, like, they leak, and so, you know, you just it's more that it's more not enough people in the world are heading in that direction, and there was just this push to be fossil fuel like again, and so I think it's more that, but I understand your line of thinking. I get the concept of regulatory, you know, pricing to keep people from what you're saying, but I don't think that that's the way to go about it. You know, obviously if you have to make things more expensive for people to regulate something, there's something wrong with that type of thinking. There are smarter ways to regulate things and prevent bad things from happening, as opposed to, you know, having to make things more expensive for, you know, cost of living and stuff like that. I just disagree that that's the route you would go with that. But I mean, I, you know, still appreciate the comment, so we can talk about it. So yeah, he does these things often. He's so opposite. Again, while pushing for to restrict mail-in voting, he sent a mail-in ballot in Florida for a special election. So that's what we're talking about. We're you know, Trump is just going to do the thing that he claims that he's against. He does this all the time. He's always done this. I've pointed this out with the Chinese stuff, where he claimed to be against making, you know, people outsourcing and buying stuff. Oh, that's the problem. He thinks that's the problem because that's what he's been doing. And maybe he's even noticed it causing a problem, where he goes, I wonder if I'm doing that. Oh well. You know, like there's a reason he probably thinks that. You know, we're arguably, yeah, maybe he did. You know, being like the guy importing millions of dollars worth of Chinese steel and stuff like that for his buildings, maybe billions, I don't know. You know, so like the point is, like, Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's offsetting the market if you're doing that, and you're doing it. So, you know, it's amazing how he has these solutions, but you know, conveniently they're because it's the thing he's doing and he knows he's doing. Talking about apparently they've been talking about increasing ICE presence at airports. Wow. Wow. I was watching somebody that I think he works for Linus or something. But I was watching his um, stream, and he said that I think it was an upload, but he said that he was actually I think they're from Canada, right? He came to the U.S. and literally this dude was detained 3 times. He's a white dude that speaks English. You'd have thought he was American if you just saw him and heard him speak. You wouldn't know any better. And he was detained 3 times. 3 different times. What the hell? Why? To make it so that people don't want to come to our country? Yes. Yep. That's what that's supposed to do. Yes. It's not good for foreign relations at all. You know, we need tourism. We do. That is a huge influx to our economy, is tourism. And Donald's just doing this. Nobody's going to want to come here. That's a huge hit to the economy. I mean, Donald Trump is just he is fucking terrible. This is so stupid. You can't honestly actually believe Border Patrol ICE agents randomly about the United States somehow increases your protection against illegal immigration. You can't possibly believe that. I mean, it's just there to put pressure on people. There are modern ways of and proper ways of going about these things. It doesn't look like randomly putting Border Patrol agents all over the place. Other presidents, like Obama, spent a lot of time with immigration and deporting people. Obama apparently was at a 40-year low. Yeah, apparently Apparently, he was doing so well that it was at a 40-year low, and under him, and you know, they actually did have a bit of a reform process with that, where they actually were a bit aggressive about it. If you look it up, they really did, and it didn't look like this. It didn't, sure as hell, didn't look like a bunch of idiots that don't know what they're doing, violating the rights of citizens and stuff like that because they're a bunch of idiots that don't know what they're doing. It's just sure as hell didn't look like that. Donald doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. It's that simple. He just does stuff. I mean, it's the same shit that he did with his businesses. He didn't know what the fuck he's doing. He just does stuff. That's it. Must be nice to have your name be a name that's synonymous with winning, where people literally like it's like the definition of it. They like a quote unquote trump card, if you will. I mean, like literally, it must be nice to have your name synonymous with winning, because again, you can just endlessly forever have this. This is what you got to realize. Like any desperate fool, and that's all he's been using for the past decade, pretty much, is desperate fools. What a joke! 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 Yeah, so there's a government shutdown that's led to less TSA staffing at airports. He knows this. Like, I feel like this is part of that plan, where he's intentionally having ICE instead of TSA so he can get away with Russians sneaking into the country. I'm pretty sure this guy is just sneaking Russians and terrorists into the country, all while making it look like he cares a whole lot about immigration. That's all he's doing. It's pretty obvious. Oh boy, this guy is just awful, isn't he? So we've had supposedly a peak concurrent of 419, right? Supposedly. So we had that many concurrents in here at one time. So then why is YouTube only counting 37 views on the entire stream? And why is somebody hitting the laugh emoji the very second that I say that? Very instant that I say that. Because that person is viewbotting. That's why. Because they know that some of them are bullshit. And they're doing it to get more removed than should be removed. Just as I already pointed out to you, all the evidence of the fact that I sometimes have watched the stream gets removed too. That shouldn't be the case. It is. Just like the person telling me that their like gets removed. It's not that hard to figure out what's going on there. It's really not that hard. So, unfortunately, I don't think that they have shipped this. I'm pretty sure that nothing has happened. They haven't answered. They haven't answered. Didn't answer. They still didn't answer the email. Remember the email that I sent them several hours ago? It says, okay, well, you know, did you do this? Did you ship my order? They didn't answer it. Literally at all. I think that's pretty interesting. And my order also wasn't shipped because they're supposed to also let me know when it's shipped. They haven't let me know when it's shipped, and my order status hasn't changed. I can check that, and it has not changed. They haven't done anything. So, we're going to continue to escalate this and talk about this. And, you know, if I have to put on the title of the stream, I can't order Black Label Society merch because blacklabelsociety.com is a scam, then we're going to do it. Because that's all that's happening here. We're talking about the fact that I ordered something off of blacklabelsociety.com, and over a month later, this is how bad it is. They never shipped it, and for an excuse that you know, apparently this clock was out of stock, but I didn't order a fucking clock. They just wanted to give it to me. It was a free gift that they put in. So they set my package aside for an entire month because they wanted to give me this, supposedly. But really, that's probably a blatant lie. They're just using that because, again, it's the one excuse they can use to get out of this. So, because, again, they have not shipped my order. They have not answered. They blatantly try to not answer. So, again, we're going to keep updating you, but if I have to put blacklabelsociety.com as a fucking scam, we will. I mean, I don't care what I gotta do. You know, we'll go and report this. Like I said, it's gonna get reported to the FBI. But at this point, they're claiming that they're going to do this. So again, I don't need to give you any more than 24 hours. I am completely within my right at this point to report this to the FBI. I mean, it's a blatant scam. And it's obvious they're dodging. It's obvious. I mean, like, again, when they answered when they answered at this really, really odd time at 6:53 a.m., and they don't even have office hours then. When they answered then, and if they're out, again, if they're out west, it would be before that. It would even be like it's just so you know what I'm saying, or is it after? I don't know. But the whole point is, like, I don't fucking know. But the whole point is, regardless, it was just a really weird time. It was still really early in the morning, and it would still be, you know, too early if that were the case. I don't know, man. I don't know, and I shouldn't have to. The whole point is you're not getting back to me. You don't answer. This is a blatant fucking scam. And again, I'm a really big fan here. Been a fan like friggin' ever, man. And you make it impossible. It's not okay. They have to send you something if they take your money. They can't just take your money and send you nothing. So, the order hasn't been shipped, and this was almost 2 days ago now. This is like a day and a half ago that they said please confirm if you would like me to do this, and I did. 3 minutes later, I confirmed. I didn't even ask for a clock. The clock was automatically added to the order. That's so ridiculous. Yes, send my order. If you want to send me a clock later, then fine, but this was automatically added anyway. That's pretty obvious. I said send the order. So then again, after that, say that you know, again after that, this today now, how's my order shipped? Question mark. Didn't answer. And then the one I just read to you previously, you were supposed to cancel the clock from the order and ship it. Did you do this? You have a serious problem not getting back to people, and I'm already not happy that this happened in the first place. So again, that was hours ago, and they still haven't even responded to that. And if you go on Better Business Bureau and you look at their reviews for Sandbag Ltd, Sandbag Limited, which is who we're talking about here, if you look at their Better Business Bureau reviews, this is exactly what they do. This is what they do. They don't answer. We have a rapist recording and clipping the stream, so. We have a rapist recording and clipping the stream, so. The person, that's stalking this channel is a rapist. I know confetti. I know confetti. I know. Then why are you clipping the stream? Why are you clipping the stream? When I didn't give you permission to do it. You didn't ask, you just started doing it. Why are you doing that? You guys know that fair use requires permission, right? You own your own streams. Yeah. And there's nothing on this stream that belongs to anybody else. I created all of the stuff on this stream and have the rights to use all of the stuff on this stream. So, even if there isn't something that I created on it, I have the rights to use it. But I did create pretty much everything you see. So, when this stalker is here, consistently stealing my content and trying to re-upload it, that's a very serious issue. And the person doing it is disgusting. and takes pictures, off of social media accounts of children and stuff like that. Yet that's what he does. He sits here and like holds on to pictures of people, and it's like young people. It's weird. The point is, he just stalks people. Yep. And he proved that the one day when he literally put a picture of a minor that he stole off social media in a thumbnail right on his page. Just a random young person that he just took the picture and just... That's not weird as shit. Yep. Kind of like another content creator who uses his kid for content. You know, there are entire actors, such as Macaulay Culkin, who doesn't even reveal to their kids that they're famous. Did you know that? Because they don't want them to have to deal with those ridiculous things. Yep, they want them to have a normal sort of upbringing and not have to deal with that. Yep. Did you know that? And then meanwhile, there are complete douchebag, jackass motherfuckers like Donald Trump who parade their kids around. They must be famous. They must be looked at a certain way. And like every one of them is fucking stupid. Like every one of them. They're just all dumb as shit. Consider the parents, I mean. You know. So. So yeah, anyway, this is gonna get reported to the FBI. I mean, like, there's not even answering. Again, I told you guys, all you gotta do is look, they have a couple of reviews on Better Business. They already have an F rating because they're not appraised. It's just automatic. But now they also have several reviews that people were posting where they were saying the same thing. Somebody ordered a whole Deftones order, and the people just never got back to them about anything. Literally, just never. And the same thing with another person. And like I said, I had an issue with many years ago ordering from their old company, through their old company that they used to use. I placed a whole order for a bunch of stuff, and it just never came. They took the money, and it was right when Zach had his very personal sort of issue that he was dealing with, where he had to step away just for a little bit. He doesn't take breaks, but he had to get his health under control, and he just has like this. It was a rare thing that he has. So it was not like the, he just had to get off the. He had to get it because of the medication stuff. He had to get off the booze. It wasn't the booze, but because of the path forward. He had to get off, and so like just some stuff I think that he had to do. It was right around then, and I really just did not want to, because I feel like that upended everything for everybody at that time, for the Doom Crew Inc. and everybody that's involved with that, when he just has to, all of a sudden do that. So I did not want, when that happened, I like, again, I was pretty ticked, and I was sitting on it, and I was gonna report it, I was thinking about it, and then that happened, and I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna, whatever. I'm glad that he's okay, I'm just glad he's okay, So it was just more that it was sort of a relief, actually. And so I just started kind of let it go, and it really wasn't that big a deal. And I honestly didn't really think about it much until this happened. And I was like, you know what? This happened before. And so somebody in that organization's taken advantage. That's all that's happened. And it starts with a clock. It starts with a gift. A free gift! So, whose idea was that? And that's how you do it. Whose idea was it? It's not that person. Start. You know what I mean? So, then go to the next person. Oh, I presented the idea to this person then. Okay, go to that person. Then they're investigated. It wasn't them, okay, then who did it go to next? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's blatantly obvious. If this truly was because of a clock, okay, again, didn't order it. It was totally free. It was a free gift. And that was supposedly why it was set aside, not a stock. But it's just not valid. Because any moron at that place should be able to deduce it's a free gift. They didn't charge you for it. It says $0 on there. So why the fuck would you set the package aside, assuming that somebody doesn't want what they ordered because you're going to give them a free gift maybe a few months from now? No, it's a scam. As for the thing that I said about the people that stand at the front of the concert and stuff, it's important to remember that before I said that, I also clarified in a stream that, you guys know at any given time, I do what I have to do because YouTube is clearly doing this thing to combat, and, like if they think I'm doing something and I'm going to look bad or something like that, then they'll promote the stream. So, I mean, it's kind of obvious what I'm doing, alright? It's the sort of thing where, if I don't act like that, they're not going to promote the stream. But anyway, I said prior to me talking about that, it's important to remember that I said prior to me talking about that this is also the individual that the fan, supposedly, it's up to their interpretation. Oftentimes, it's just gonna be the measure of the individual. If they're broken, they're going to interpret those lyrics for the weird broken way that they are, that the way they see it. That's all. It's not necessarily how it's intended to be interpreted and stuff. So a lot of these guys, they take it very literally. Like where it's an image, and it's supposed to feel that way. and kind of be that way to maybe help some of these guys that maybe bikers or soldiers or whatever, get over whatever or through whatever. It's not, you know what I mean? Like it's more like that. It's more of an inspiration of that sort of thing, and it's not, like obviously anything for the person to obviously the artist, their intent is to just make some art. So the person interprets that however they want. And so where these guys act this way, you sort of just kind of see the result of how many grown-ass men are not mature. And then listen to that type of metal, too. Like, this is the type of stuff that I've noticed where, yeah, it's the guys with the drinking problems. Yeah, obviously. It's the guys with the drinking problems. Obviously. Like that's, and then they don't get over the problem, and they go and drink beer and forget about it for a little while and go ha 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 and laugh and stuff, and then the cycle starts all over when they're so drunk now that they're gonna get in a fight with somebody or something like that because they said something, and they don't even know who they are anymore. It's just a cycle that repeats itself and shit like that, and so there's a lot of guys I think that are like that, and it's crazy. I mean, like, I've seen the body cams, too, of like the day drinkers and stuff. Like the whole point is that some people just get to a point where they've done it so much it's like their existence, and they just it's the strangest. But that's the point, that like booze is terrible, like that. It is just nasty. It's one of the worst, if not the worst, and it'll mess up your head. It'll make you stupid. And you have to recover from it. You have to heal. Like when somebody toxifies themselves with drinking, they have to recover from that. If you don't, you're actually damaging your brain and your body, and you devolve basically over time. You become stupid. Your organs sort of shut down. You're just putting poison. You're just drinking poison, basically. That's what alcohol is. It's just poison. So, like, why do that? Anyway. I'm not putting that on them. Obviously, it's not on them. The point is, it's the people that take advantage and do these things. So I just from his world, he sees a lot of really nice, good people, and doesn't see it because he started. He went, now maybe he does at this point because he's been around long enough. But what you have to realize is, especially Zakk Wylde, he got like he basically out of high school. I mean, I think he was like 19, 20, right? Maybe he was 21. He was I think he was barely out of high school, and playing for Ozzy. Like, the guy was young. And so you have to realize that for a long time he probably was just, again, exposed to the guys in the business that also don't want to deal with the stupid side of things, and they're just nice dudes and stuff like that. So he might not get it. To him, it's brotherhood, everybody's hugging each other and getting along and stuff like that. And then he doesn't see the other side of it, where he's never actually really been in a real crowd. He's always stood on the side of the stage, backstage, because he's famous. You know, like he can't. People will recognize him, and so like it's different. It is. You exist differently. And if you can't ever be on that side of it, you may never see it that way for what it actually is. You just only see a certain tunnel vision perspective of your band, or like whatever it is what we're talking about. So I hope he gets that. I think he does. I feel like I wouldn't have to explain that to someone like Zach. Because I think, like, with him, like, he's worked with so many people, and he, and stuff like that. I think it is a little bit different. But some people, they might not get it. They really might not. So, that's the reality, is that, you exist sort of outside of it, and then likewise too, you don't even understand sometimes people that are always doing those things, and they have a job where they're always on the move and they don't have to, you know what I mean? It's the sort of thing where the job security and what they do actually pays for their room and board for most of their life. So a lot of times, I mean, they're gonna have a place to hang their hat too, but a lot of times their living expenses aren't, you know what I mean? Like, it's taken care of because of the business. The business just further perpetuates the living expenses because it's part of it. They have to travel, so it's just included in stuff like that with certain things, and it truthfully is pretty crazy to think about how when you're richer in this country, and the richer you are, the more shit's given to you. And it's just the truth. It's so backwards from how it should work. So, there's a lot of times where people become rich very young, like Justin Bieber, Avril Lavigne, like just tons of people. I'm not saying there's anything bad with it. I'm just saying those folks are 2 to 3 times more likely to have a lot of psychological problems because they never figured life out, they never started it or struggled with it. They just simply were famous, and now everybody else around them controls their finances, controls their tour, controls this, and it just starts moving really fast. So, a lot of times they can even be taken advantage of, and they might not even realize these things are happening, where they're just focused on the next thing and being so, about trying to work hard and get to the next thing that they don't even realize these things are happening. And might understand plenty about life. I'm sure they're smart enough to understand plenty of things and educate themselves. I'm not saying they're stupid, obviously. They're plenty resourceful enough to have been the artist in the first place. But the whole point is they didn't really have a complete, necessarily, world education where the rest of us would go into the workforce and sort of just get, like, wisdom, experience, things like that. When you're famous and you go into the workforce, a lot of times you have a team full of fucking people that take care of so many things for you. It's not you. It's this person, this person, this person. Everybody's working towards the same goal. Imagine if you had that helping you for your regular job and stuff like that. It's like No, you don't. The whole point is you know, you don't have an agent, you don't have a guitar handler or a personal assistant or a sound check or, you know, like you don't have this shit, you know, like you're just somebody doing a job. So, it's entitlement. It's, you know, oftentimes it's like, oh, well, you know, like they go right from that to that and they don't even experience the workforce maybe. They, you know, and then expect a lot out of people. Well, hired you to do a job and you can't even do it. You're fired, you know, or so they do something wrong, you know, and maybe they're like this, and, you know, that they haven't even learned, you know, what it takes, you know, and stuff like that. And so I just, my thing is, I know that's not Zach. Obviously, like he actually, I think he was actually a mechanic. But I know that this guy, like, he's always, his hands were always black. Like he's always like worked on, like, I think motorcycles and cars and built amps and stuff like that. I think he always used to like take them apart and sort of put them back together and stuff. He's sort of a little bit more of a nerd than the usual you know, guy that's into metal and stuff like that. But more the hands-on mechanical engineering side of being a nerd. So mechanical electrical engineering. So you know, that stuff. So, you know, obviously that, you know, he a little bit different with him. He's probably plenty of, you know, smart enough with a lot of stuff. But my point is that I, you know, just wonder how many people are completely oblivious to it, and then think about how many celebrities, you know, Hollywood, what it is, you know, the music business, what it is in this country too, where somebody famous can seemingly go straight from high school to, you know, I'm not talking about Britain, you know, like where they're actually educating people, you know, like it's a decent education system and stuff like that. So in high school, you know, you're coming out of high school, you're properly educated, you know how to speak and you know, you can seemingly function in life and you won't have problems. In the United States, you can't. They don't teach you enough, and it's getting worse. You need college, and it's absurd. It's completely absurd to think that you need college, and the point is this was where we came from a while back when all of us, the rest of us, were growing up. Which you guys today don't seem to understand is that, you know, when we were growing up and stuff like that, you'd fill your tank and it's $20 to fill your tank. $20 fills it up. You know, you got, doesn't matter the size of it, you fill it up, it's $20. Big deal. You know, you want to go buy a movie? $20. You want to go out to eat? $20. Yep. Basically, everything was that $20 bill, which is the highest bill that most middle class person is going to have in their wallet, right? Most middle class people, they're not going to have in this country anyway. They're not going to have a 50 and they're not going to have 100. The highest bill they're going to have is a 20. So, realistically speaking, if that's the case, why the fuck is anything over $20 when you buy it? Anything. At all. Why are all video games like $70? Do you get what I'm saying? This is where we came from. We came from affordability to not being affordable. honestly, George W. caused us a lot of problems and made things more expensive. He was the first one to give us that deficit after the Clintons. And we never recovered. Obama was record job growth. He didn't do anything wrong. You can't even say it was him. It was Trump. He destroyed it. He has ruined everything. And things are expensive because of him. It's that fucking simple. The guy is wrong about everything. Not right, wrong. He fucked it all up. It's literally that basic. It's just his fault. All of it. Every wrong mistake that you could have made, he made it. It's that basic, man. You don't impose tariffs, you don't start trade wars, you make things cheaper, you cut taxes, you don't increase them, you don't start wars, you end them, you pull out of them. You don't undo regulations for dumping oil waste, you tighten regulations so that make sure that your environment's safe for fish, algae. This is important. This guy sucks. He is trash. He is garbage. He is your raging dumpster fire. And the whole point is we came from an affordable country. The whole point is things used to be... Remember when we had a dollar menu? When a McDouble was actually $1, not $2, not $3? Remember when the double cheese, and there wasn't even a McDouble? And there was a double cheese, it was just the double cheese. And then they made the McDouble just to save money on one slice of fucking cheese. That's the difference. And remember when it used to cost $1? I remember when I was a kid and going to McDonald's from when I was a kid to like teenager. I remember the day I went there and they had changed all of the buns. I immediately noticed they changed the buns and the meat. Like overnight, basically. I remember I was like, oh man, I can't wait to have this. It's gonna be so good. And then I sit down and I'm like, this doesn't seem right. And I'm like, this is really tiny. And then I unwrap it and the bun is like half the size. It's like flat. It's shiny. It doesn't even look like a real piece of bread. And then the meat's like that thin. It's not even like that anymore. The meat on the burgers was as thick as the quarter pounder meat. It was just a smaller piece of meat. Yep. The burgers at McDonald's when we were kids were as thick as the quarter pounders. Yep. I swear to God. It was just a smaller bun. Yep. I swear to God. And this is the point. McDonald's went lazy. Walmart, same thing. Walmart started their business with $5 movie bins and cheap prices. That's why we all went there. We went there because things were cheap. Because we could make out better there than we could at the local market. So we had to justify it. We had to. That was the point. They were so competitive, we couldn't even justify going anywhere else. That was how they did it. Yeah. And all these companies did that too. And then when Donald fucking asshole Trump came around, everybody started changing. Everybody's like, yeah, let's be an asshole and charge too much for things. America, durr. And just everybody's attitude shifted and changed. And it just became about manipulating the stupidity of just, again, people realized how much Americans don't understand things. Like, the CEO's educated, so he knows the gas prices, why the gas prices are why they are. So all it takes is a bunch of idiots that are not college educated to get on social media and be like, just sort of the picture that they're defacing of the, I did that, the gas pump and all that shit. They know. Anyway, it's that time. I'm going to get off stream. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. See ya.